Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV in conjunction with Colfax High School presents Viking Pregame. A look at today's Colfax Vikings boys game. And now, Viking Pregame.
Good evening, and welcome to the NLWN-TV studios, where tonight the Colfax Viking boys are getting ready to take on the Elmwood Plum City Wolves in a Dunn-St. Croix Conference matchup. Rick Olson here, and soon I'll join Dan Petchow as we're getting ready to bring you all the play-by-play action of tonight's game right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Now, coming up in this edition of Viking Pregame, we'll take a look at tonight's matchup between the Elmwood Plum City Wolves and the Colfax Vikings. Then we'll get Coach Noel's perspective on tonight's game in Coach's Corner. Following that, we'll bring you all the play-by-play action of tonight's game. So it's time to get ready for some exciting high school boys basketball. All that coming up right after this brief timeout. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
This is the story of a boy who was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame, where Dan Petchow and I are getting ready to bring you all the action of tonight's boys basketball game between the Elmwood Plum City Wolves and the Colfax Vikings. Now, the Vikings are looking to overcome last night's heartbreaking loss to New Auburn and get back on the winning track and stay in contention for the Dunn-St. Croix Conference race. The Vikings are coming off a 54-53 loss in their game last night against the New Auburn Trojans. The Vikings had a 13-point lead about halfway through the second half, only to see the Trojans chip away and take a lead with less than a minute to play. The Vikings had an opportunity to tie the game with no time left on the clock, but Drew Gibson's second free throw hit iron but couldn't go down the hole, and the Vikings fell by a single point. Our unofficial numbers had Drew Gibson leading the way in scoring for the Vikings with 13. He was followed by Tanner Hoffman with 9 and Noah Hydorn with 7. The Elmwood Plum City Wolves are 1-0 in the Dunn-St. Croix Conference and defeated the Elk Mound Mounders last night by a score of 49-47. They come into tonight's game averaging 44 points per game while giving up 47. The Wolves are currently 1-1 overall, having lost to Clear Lake 47-39 earlier this season. The Wolves are led in scoring by 6'6" junior forward Luke Webb, who's putting up nearly 18 points per game. Also contributing to the Elmwood Plum City Wolves scoring is 5'9" junior guard Jared Pelzel, who adds another 8 points per game. Now, coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get the coach's perspective as we chat with Viking head coach Mark Noel on Coach's Corner. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Being prepared is a part of who you are, but it's especially important in the case of a disaster. Be informed about possible emergencies in your area. Make a plan that covers where you go in an emergency. Build a kit with the things you need to survive. There's no one more capable of planning for your situation than you. Start your plan today. Go to Ready.gov/myplan.
Time now to see what the coaches have to say. It's Coach's Corner, what they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. And now, Coach's Corner.
Today we're talking with Viking head coach Mark Noel. And coach, last night at New Auburn, that had to be incredibly frustrating for the Vikings. They seemingly had the game well in hand midway through the second half, only to see New Auburn chip away at that lead and send the Viking to a 1-point defeat in the last minute. Your comments about that one?
Yeah, it was tough for those kids. I feel for them, and they're playing hard. They're trying to do exactly what I'm asking them to do. It's almost like teaching a foreign language, to be honest with you. I'm trying to teach them how to play a faster game, a more aggressive game, and we're in the baby steps of that progress right now. And I just would love for them to taste some of that victory. And we were winning probably 98% of that game last night. And last night I kind of went with a platoon system where I was subbing 5 in, 5 out, being that later today we play our fourth game in like 6 days. I'm just trying to play a lot of kids and play an up-tempo game to try to wear New Auburn out. And with 4 minutes left, I put our first group back in there. We were up 10 and unfortunately lost the lead.
Yeah, now tonight, there's no rest for the wicked because you get back into Dunn St. Croix Conference action, and that really matters. And you're hosting the Elmwood Plum City Wolves, and the Wolves are coming off a big 49-47 win over Elton Hound last night. What can you tell us about the Wolves?
Well, the tapes that I've been able to see about them so far, they're a long team. They're athletic. They've got a 6'6" kid inside. They got a bunch of like 6'2", 6'1s, and so they've got a whole bunch of kids that have experience from last year, which is huge, especially early in the season like this. They've got a lot of returning players that have a lot of experience. It should be a tough battle.
Now, this has got to be tough on the Vikings. They're on kind of a slide. 2 of those last 3 losses that the Vikings have had, they were winnable games, but they let them get away. What needs to be done tonight for the Vikings to be able to finish the game off?
Well, I think more than anything, we have to be able to finish our open shots, especially around the basket. We're not finishing right now, and we also have to be able to take care of the basketball a little bit better and be able to not have those turnovers. I like the fight that we have. I like the that kind of stuff that we're doing. I think that we're playing decently well together. It's just a matter of getting over the hump and really more than anything, just believing. You have to believe that they can do it.
Now, some of the Viking difficulties this year, at least from a person who knows very little about basketball like me, but it seems maybe learning a new system and having, like you said, you're trying to teach a foreign language, and the old language was pretty well ingrained. There's some learning curve going on there, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. I mean, and that's nothing to say against anything that's been done in the past,
Right.
But with us, I just think that you want to play. The kids want to play fast. The kids want to play aggressive, but they're learning. What is a good shot? What is a bad shot? They're learning that right now. And then when you're playing faster, your mind's going about 3 times as fast as your body. And so our kids are learning how to slow their minds down, but still keep their bodies going fast.
Well, it'll be awfully good to get back on the home court tonight. And what Viking players should we look to step up and make a difference tonight?
Well, I would like to see all of our seniors step up, honestly, because they're the ones that are our oldest kids in the program, and those are the kids that usually do really well, and they should know what it takes to compete at a higher level, being varsity. With that said, I just want to see collectively as a whole, I want to see them all step up. In our New Auburn game, we had a freshman step up and score 8 points for us, which is awesome to do that in a varsity game. So I would love to see more kids keep showing that, and the more consistently we can get that from everybody, the better.
Well, are there any injuries or anything coming out of that New Auburn? You've had a bunch of games packed in and legs get tired and so on, and no injuries or anything that are new?
Yeah, no injuries, Rick. They're just, maybe they're a little fatigued, but I think overall they're okay.
Any chances of seeing Hunter again tonight, or since this is a conference game?
Yeah, I think what we're going to do is I think we're going to continue to hold him out until after Christmas, just so that he can get have more time to really heal up, and that'll give him a solid 2.5 weeks off of play.
Okay, well, Coach Knoll, good luck on tonight's game. Hopefully the Vikings will be able to get back on the winning track and stay in that Dunn St. Croix Conference race.
Thank you, Rick, for this, and happy holidays to everybody coming up.
Thank you, Coach.
You've been listening to Coach's Corner, where they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame. The Vikings are looking to find a way to finish a game in winning style as they head back into the Dunn St. Croix Conference action. On the other hand, the Elmwood Plum City Wolves would like to show that their victory over Elk Mound Mounders last night was no fluke, and they really belong atop the Dunn St. Croix Conference race. So the stage is set for some exciting boys high school basketball action, and we'll have it all for you right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Now, in just a moment, I'm going to head on over to the school and join my colleague Dan Petchow as we'll bring you all the action of tonight's game between the Colfax Vikings and the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. That's all coming up next. You've been tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies. Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
You've been tuned to Viking Pregame with a look at today's Colfax Vikings boys game. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Light Colfax Viking basketball.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me.
That was perfect.
But I heard every word.
Colfax Viking basketball is on the air.
Over to Hydorn, drives down the left side, lays it up and in. And the Vikings draw first blood.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV proudly presents tonight's Colfax Viking boys varsity basketball game.
Underneath the rebound, lays it up and puts it in.
Great pass by Noah Hydorn.
Join us as we head out to the gym for tonight's Viking basketball.
Back out high to Gibson, three-pointer on the way, off the front of the iron, rolls around and in. That hit the rim about 4 different places before it decided to go down and in. And good evening and welcome to Colfax High School. Rick Olson along with Dan Petschow here, and we're getting ready to bring you tonight's game between the Colfax Vikings and the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. And I'll tell you what, we got a couple minutes before this one gets started. So Dan, why don't you go ahead and give us a quick run through on who's going to be playing in tonight's game?
Yeah, here's the starters for Elmwood Plum City tonight. They're going to go with junior 5'10", number 10 Dana Whipple, 6'2" senior number 12 Elijah Gansluckner, 6'3" senior number 15 Basil Giles, 6'6" junior number 22 Luke Webb, and 6'3" senior number 24 Tyler Bauer.
Yeah. Go ahead.
For the Colfax Vikings, they're going to go with 6'2" junior number 4 Nathan Hajdukovic, 6'2" senior number 15 Caden Erickson, 6'3" senior number 21 Tanner Hoffman, 6'1" senior number 23 Noah Heidorn, and 6'5" senior number 33 Drew Gibson.
I'll tell you what, Dan, tonight's game is all about how the Vikings respond and react after last night's real heartbreaking loss by 1 point over at New Auburn in a game the Vikings had well in hand halfway through the second half. They were up by 13 and ended up losing by a point inside the last minute with a chance to tie it at the free throw line with no time left. And that had to be a hard one. We talked with Coach Knoll about it in Coach's Corner, and I think it's all going to be tonight's game is going to be what happens reaction-wise with the Vikings and how do they deal with it. I'll tell you what, we're going to take a brief time out right now and get a couple messages from our sponsors. Then we'll be back with the start of tonight's game. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Are your animals feeling a little under the weather? Give the nice folks at Colfax Animal Hospital a call. Bruce Buckley is just what the doctor ordered. In fact, he is the doctor, and he's ready to help. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Give them a call at 715-962-3380. And it's time for our national anthem.
Would everyone please remain standing if able? Remove your hats and place your hand over your heart to honor the flag, as the national anthem is sung by the Colfax High School Quartet. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts being watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red flare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And the Colfax High School Quartet with a very nice rendition of our national anthem. And in just a moment, we'll send it down to the scorer's table and get the starting lineups for tonight's game. And we will be able to catch a couple of those pronunciations that Dan had to go through.
Yeah. There's a few names on that Elmwood team that didn't know very well.
Introducing the starters for the Wolves. Number 10, junior Dave Whipple. Number 15, senior Hazel Gillis. Number 21, senior Eli Manslucker. Number 22, junior Lucas Brown. And number 24, senior Tyler Bauer. The Wolves are led by head coach Kyle Webb. And now the starting lineup for your Colfax Vikings. Number 4, 6'2" junior Nathan Idukovic. Number 15 is 6'2" senior David Erickson. Number 21 is 6'3" senior Tanner Hoffman. Number 23 is 6'1" senior Noah Idle. And number 33 is 6'5" senior Gibson.
Okay, so those starters once again for the Vikings: Hajdukovic, Erickson, Hoffman, Hydorn, and Gibson, the same five that started last night's game. And for the Elmwood Plum City Wolves, it's Whipple, Gansluckner, Gillis, Webb, and Bauer. And Elmwood Plum City to inbound to start the game. It's Whipple bringing it through the center circle. Gets it over to Webb on the right side. He's high, wide, and right. Big 6'6" senior, or check that, junior for Elmwood Plum City. Now Seipel has it. Feeds it over to Whipple. Whipple has it out high. They get it over to Bauer. Bauer over to Gillis. To Seipel. Long shot goes up by Whipple, and it's no good. Ball being fought for on the floor, and coming away with it are the Vikings. Hydorn across the timeline, takes it right down into the lane, kicks it out to Erickson from three. He hit the three-pointer to start the game. And the Vikings are on top. Quickly back down the floor come the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. Driving into the lane is Bauer, but he took an extra step. And so the ball goes back over to the Vikings. Gibson to inbound it to Hydorn. And he brings it down the floor across the timeline. Back to Gibson. Over to Hoffman, to Hydorn down in the right corner. Looking for somewhere to feed it. Now he takes it out high himself. He's between the circles. Hoffman moves over to the other side of the lane to set a pick. Hydorn drives down to the left side, dishes it off to Hajdukovic, out to Hoffman at the top of the key, puts up the three, off the iron, no good. Erickson with the rebound and the putback, no, and the Wolves come away with it. Down the floor comes Seipel. Drives into the lane, lays it up, it rolls around, no. Coming down with it is Elmwood Plum City, and that was Gillis putting it up and in. So the Vikings come back down the floor with a 3-2 lead. Hajdukovic with it, high, wide, and right. Stops at the free throw line. Kicks it out to Erickson, high, wide, and left. He drives over to the free throw line to Hydorn. Takes it to the free throw line, feeds it to Gibson in the lane. Gibson tries to pass it, gets knocked away, and Elmwood Plum City comes away with the ball. Down the floor they come. Webb with it. Feeds it into the lane. We have a whistle and a foul as Gillis tried to go up. He's going to go to the line for two. And the foul is on Hoffman. It's the first foul on anybody tonight. Basil Gillis at the line. 6'3" senior. First shot goes up and off the back of the iron, no good. His second shot is on the way. It's also off the back of the iron, no good. Rebound taken down by Elmwood Plum City, and it's good. That shot was by the big 6'6" Luke Webb. Vikings come down the floor. They're down by one. Erickson high, wide, and right. Feeds it over to the top of the key to Hoffman. Tries to feed it into the lane, and the ball's knocked away by Webb, and he's got it now. He's high, wide, and right for Elmwood Plum City. He gets it down to Seipel. Back out to Webb. Over to Whipple. Shot from Seipel from 3 is no good. Hoffman with the rebound. Gets it to Hydorn. Comes through the center circle. Takes it over to the left side to Hajdukovic. Hajdukovic gets it back out to Hoffman. To Erickson from the top of the key. He hit the bank shot 3. Caden Erickson with all 6 points for the Vikings so far. And here comes Elmwood Plum City down the floor, laying it up, and in is Seipel. And we are tied at 6 with 14:35 to go in the first half. Hydorn across the timeline. Settling things down, taking it over to the right side. Back out between the circles to Hajdukovic, over to the left side to Erickson. Feeds it to Gibson, tries to put the shot up off the glass. It doesn't go, and Elmwood Plum City comes down with a rebound. Seipel with it, over to Webb. This is Whipple. Now back out high to Bauer. Bauer to Whipple, drives into the lane. Feeds it down to Gillis. And then over to Seipel. To Webb, high, wide, and right. Cross court over to Whipple. Now back over to Seipel and to Webb. Webb on the right side. Feeds it in the lane to Gillis, puts the shot up, and it's going to count. It went through, but we also have a foul. And that's a foul on Hoffman. It's his second personal. And Tristan Lenz into the lineup, replacing Tanner Hoffman. And the shot goes up off the back of the iron, no good by Gillis. But Elmwood Plum City comes down with the rebound. Bauer with it, feeds it out high to Webb. Webb tries to take it to the right side. His pass is intercepted by Hajdukovic. And they get it over to Gibson, who brings it down the floor. He drives the lane, tries to feed it over to Lenz, went through his legs, but picked up by Hajdukovic. Gets it to Hydorn. He lost control of it. And here comes Elmwood Plum City. Puts the shot up off the back of the iron. Long rebound out to Erickson. Takes it down the floor, tries to lay it up. It's a little short. And Elmwood Plum City gets the rebound with Whipple, bringing it down the floor. Feeding it over to Bauer. Bauer on the left side. Gets it out to Webb, high, wide, and left. He feeds it into the lane to Gillis. Gillis turnaround jumper from in the lane. It rattles home. Elmwood Plum City up by 4 at 10-6. 12:46 to go in half number 1. Vikings have it in the forecourt. Erickson with it. Takes it over to the free throw line. Gets it over to the left side to Hajdukovic. Hajdukovic drives to the lane, but kicks it out to Hydorn on the right. Hydorn at the free throw line extended. Now he takes it over to the free throw line. Feeds it over to Erickson. Long three-pointer, and it rattles home. A long three-pointer by Caden Erickson. He has all the Vikings 9 points so far on the night. 12:15 to go. Vikings down by 1. Elmwood Plum City tries to penetrate the lane with a pass, and it's intercepted by Gibson. He passes it over to Hydorn, who brings it into the forecourt. Vikings looking to take the lead. Hydorn still on the dribble. Short jumper, and he nothing but net that time from just off the right side of the lane. Vikings up by 1, 11-10. Putting a little bit of pressure on Elmwood Plum City. They get it into the forecourt. Gillis with it. Feeds it out to Webb at the top of the key. Drives down the lane, goes up. And they're calling an offensive foul, I believe, on Webb as he drove through. Yes, and that's his first personal, first team foul on Elmwood Plum City.
Coach doesn't like that one because he was thinking that Colfax was a little deep down there.
And he might have something to talk about there. But it got called. Hydorn loses the handle on it, and it goes out of bounds off of him. And so Elmwood Plum City is going to have the ball on the baseline. 11:28 to go in the first half. Vikings putting full court pressure on. And this is a player we don't have the number of, so we're going to have to try to find out. Number 13, we don't have the number for. And Erickson takes it down the lane for the Vikings, and he lays it in. And Elmwood Plum City brings it down into the forecourt. They get it to Basil Gillis, and he lays it up and in. So it is 13-12, Vikings on top. Well, we found out who the 13 is. Jared Pelzel, or Pelzel, I believe. Hajdukovic with it for the Vikings. Down around the right baseline, gets it out high to Erickson. And coming down is Hydorn, lays it up, rattles around but doesn't go in. Rebound taken down by Lenz, fights hard, puts it up for the second time, and couldn't quite get a third time to go. Here comes Elmwood Plum City down the floor. Going up with it is Gillis, and Lenz high for the rebound, takes it off. And here come the Vikings back down the floor. Hydorn with it at the free throw line, feeds it underneath to Lenz. He can't find the handle on it, goes between his legs, and coming out with it is Whipple for Elmwood Plum City. Comes across the timeline. Feeds it over to Bauer. Back out to Pelzel, and he puts the long shot up, no good. And Hydorn lets it go out of bounds. It's going to be Viking ball. Hunter Reback into the game. It's good to see him in the game.
Yeah, he's stayed out a little bit, try to heal up.
Brace and all on the knee. Hydorn with it. Gets it over to Erickson. High, wide, and right. Very long three-pointer off the iron. No good. And here comes Elmwood Plum City. Pelzel puts the brakes on outside the arc. Gets it over to Bauer. They get that back over to Hartung. Now to Webb. Then to Hartung. On the left side. Down to Bauer in the left corner. Out high to Pelzel. To Hartung. Back over to Bauer. He's still on the left side. Feeds it out high to Hartung. To Webb on the right. To Pelzel, left all alone at the top of the key, and it goes off the back of the air, no good. Gillis trying to get the pass out, got fouled.
Do believe by Hunter Reback.
And
yep, number 30. Hunter Reback with the foul, his first.
For a minute there, I thought they may have called one on Elmwood Plum City because the Vikings were standing there trying to get the ball, but no, the officials wouldn't give it to them. So Webb has it. He gets it out high to Pelzel. Back to Webb. Get it to Bauer at the free throw line. Back out to Webb. High, wide, and right. Down into the corner to Gillis. Back out to Hartung. Hartung cross court pass over to the left side to Pelzel. Pelzel has it at the top of the key, gets it over to Hartung. Hartung back to Pelzel on the left side. Get it underneath to Webb, puts it up, no good, but he's gonna go to the line, drew the foul. I think it might be on Erickson, but I'm not sure about that. Yes, it is. Foul on Caden Erickson. Webb's first shot is no good. 13-12, 8:24 to go in the first half. Vikings with a 1-point lead. Elijah Ensminger into the lineup, replacing Hydorn. Second shot on the way off the back of the iron. Rebound taken down by Erickson. Feeds it out to Reback. He gets it to Ensminger, who takes it through the center circle. Feeds it over to the right side to Erickson. Now he drives into the lane, feeds it out to Reebok from 3. Off the back of the air, no good. Rebound taken down by Elmwood Plum City. Quickly down the floor is Hartung. Feeds it down into the left corner. That's Disciple, and the shot went up and through. Shot was by Seipel. Albright with it for the Vikings. Gets it out to Erickson, and he drains another three-pointer. Caden Erickson with another 3. 14 of the 16 points the Vikings have come from Caden Erickson. And we have a timeout on the floor.
Nope.
The
Ref heard it wrong.
Inadvertent whistle, evidently, because he thought that they were trying to call a timeout. All right, so Elmwood Plum City inbounds the ball. They get it to Seipel. Cross-court pass still in the backcourt to Pelzel, to Hartung, who takes it across the timeline. Back over to Pelzel on the right, to Hartung on the left. Down in the corner to Seipel. Back out high to Webb. Webb over to Hartung on the right. Pelzel right corner, gets it back out to the top of the key. To Seipel, drives down into the lane, and he got rejected. And down the floor come the Vikings. Erickson with it. Across the timeline, gives it to Ensminger on the right. Feed it to Gibson, shot from 3. He hit the three-pointer. Drew Gibson with a 3. 6:49 to go in the first half. Vikings up by 5, 19-14. Still with the full court pressure. Hartung gets it across the timeline to Seipel. Gets it back to Hartung on the left. Feeds it down into the lane to Gillis. He puts it up and lays it in. 19-16. Ensminger brings it down the floor for the Vikings. Vikings on top by 3. Erickson at the top of the key. Takes it to the free throw line. Gets it out to Albright on the left. Albright drives into the lane. Feeds it out to Reebok on the right, down in the right corner. Out to Ensminger between the circles. Over to Erickson. Long three-pointer for Erickson. Nothing but net again. Boy, does Erickson have the hot hand. He's got 17 already in the first half. 22-16 for the Vikings, and we have a blocking foul being called on Albright. And we have a couple people coming in. Hunter Reebok takes a seat. Albright takes a seat. Lenz comes in. And Hajdukovic into the game. Coming down the floor is Hartung. Feeds it over to Pelzel. Back over to Seipel. Now cross-court pass to Webb. They get it to Hartung. Over to Pelzel. To Webb at the top of the key. Over into the left corner to Seipel. Drives the baseline. Puts it up. No good. Rebound. Follow-up by Webb, and it's in. And we have a timeout on the floor called by the Vikings. 5:29 to go in the first half. 22-18, Vikings on top, and you're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
As you check names off your gift-giving list, Derry State Bank encourages you to shop local as much as possible. The reasons are countless. For example, local businesses create 2 out of every 3 new jobs in the U.S. each year. There are times you could save a few cents by ordering online, but when you shop at a local store, you could be saving your community. Shop local for the holidays. It's more important than ever. Derry State Bank. Banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
And we're back here at Colfax High School. Rick Olson along with Dan Petchow, and the Vikings have the ball. They also have a 4-point lead, and we've got a wrestle match for the ball on the floor.
And we got foul number 10.
Elijah Ensminger with the foul. That's his first personal. 6th team foul on the Vikings. So Elmwood Plum City will be in the bonus from here on out in the half. Seipel drives down, tries to pass across the lane. Went off of Viking, but picked up by Webb. Webb cross-court pass to Seipel from the top of the key. Puts it off the iron, no good. Ensminger with the rebound, takes it down the floor. Cross-court pass over to Hajdukovic. Hajdukovic back out between the circles, over to Ensminger on the left. Ensminger tries to drive into the lane, and
we're going to moving screen, maybe?
I believe that's what they called. And Coach Knoll is a little not happy with that. The foul is on Drew Gibson for a moving screen. It's his first personal, 7th team foul. And evidently that's not one that gets a free throw because it should have been the bonus. But there are some that don't get them anyway. 3-point shot goes up by Elmwood Plum. See, that was Hartung putting the shot up. It's no good. Ensminger quickly down the floor. Kicks the ball back out to Hajdukovic, who takes it over to the left side. Back out to Ensminger between the circles. To Erickson on the right. Erickson takes it to the top of the key, and we have a push being called, and I believe it's going to be on Bauer. It is. It's the second team foul on the Wolves. First personal on Bauer. Gibson to inbound it to Ensminger. He's on the left side, gets it to Hajdukovic. Hajdukovic drives to the lane, kicks it back out to Erickson. 3-pointer on the way, no good. Rebound taken away by Webb of the Wolves. And down the floor, he gets it to Whipple, who gets it over to Hartung. Now to Bauer. Out high to Whipple. Drives down the right side of the lane, puts it up, and it rattles home. 22-20, Vikings lead is cut to 2. Down the floor comes Ensminger. He's between the circles with it. Feeds it over to Hajdukovic. Hajdukovic drives down the lane, and he took one too many steps. He got kind of caught halfway between trying to put the shot up and passing it off. And his brain didn't decide, so his feet did. And they said, nope, the other team gets it.
I think he wanted to go to the rim and got caught.
Thinking twice about it is what happened. High pass to Webb, and he kicks it out to Pelzel. Back over to Webb in the right corner. Out to Pelzel, top of the key. Over to the left side now to Whipple. Whipple feeds it across to Pelzel. Back across to Seipel. Seipel over to the right side to Bauer. High, wide, and right. Now he circles and drives into the lane and tries to go up but gets fouled on the way. And I believe it's going to be on Hajdukovic. It is. It's his first personal. 8th team foul on the Vikings. First shot by Bauer is no good. 22-20. Vikings with a 2-point lead with 3:08 to go in the first half. Second shot on the way, and that one's good. We now have a 1-point game. 22-21. Down the floor comes Heidorn. Over to Gibson on the left side. Drives the left baseline. Tries to feed it to Lenz in the lane. But it's picked up by Heidorn. Shot goes in and out. No good. Lenz with the putback, and he got it. Tristan Lenz with the putback. Inbound pass to Whipple. Vikings putting on full court pressure still. They get it to Webb across the timeline, down into the corner, and Basil Gillis took an extra step. Vikings up by 3 with 2:34 to go in the half. Down the floor comes Heidorn. Takes it over to the left side. Gibson has it now high, wide, and left. Long 3-pointer by Gibson. He hit nothing but net. 3-pointer for Drew Gibson. He's got 6 for the night. 27-21. Ball stolen by Lenz. He lays it up, and it's off the backboard, but they get the rebound and put it home. Erickson got the rebound and the putback. This is Whipple with a long shot. It goes almost out of bounds, gets saved. Webb grabs the ball, puts it up and in. 29-23, Vikings up by 6. Hydorn with it on the left side. Gets it over to Gibson. Gibson thought about that 3. He's thinking about it. Now gets it back out to Hydorn between the circles. Hydorn drives into the lane, lays it up. They're going to count it, I believe. Yes. So Hydorn gets the basket, got the harm on the way up. And the foul is on Bauer. It's his second personal, third team foul on Elmwood Plum City. Minute and a half to go in the first half. Hydorn shot on the way off the front of the iron, no good. Rebound knocked out of bounds by Lenz, and so it'll be Elmwood Plum City ball. Into the lineup for Elmwood Plum City is Seipel. Pelzel taking a seat. And down the floor comes Seipel. Seipel feeds it over to Bauer. High, wide, and left. Takes it between the circles. Over to the right side now to Seipel. Out to Webb on the right side. Actually, it's more between the circles. Now down to the right side to Whipple. Whipple looking to feed it into the lane to Gillis. Gillis tries to put it up and gets called for the travel. Actually, what happened is he got rejected trying to go up with it, never let go of the ball, and got sent back down to the floor, and all the Vikings got was ball. So it's a traveling call, Vikings ball, and down the floor they come. But we have a timeout on the floor with 52 seconds to go in the first half. Vikings 31, Elmwood Plum City Wolves 23. You are tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Anderson Bridges, located in Colfax, Wisconsin, has been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. With hundreds of bridges supplied nationwide, we suspect you've crossed our path. It may have been on a pedestrian or bicycle bridge, or how about a snowmobile, ATV, or golf course bridge? Anderson Bridges is likely to have manufactured it. Founded in 1989, Anderson Bridges has been a family-owned company since its beginning and are proud to support the Colfax Vikings. Rick Olson and Dan Petchow back here at Colfax High School. Vikings with a 31-23 lead. Less than a minute to go in the first half. Across the timeline, Hydorn has it. Gets it over to Hajdukovic, takes it between the circles, over to the left side to Erickson. They're keeping it out high to Hajdukovic. He almost lost his footing, but retained it, gets the ball over to Hydorn. Hydorn standing in the center circle, gets it over to Hajdukovic, who's out high, takes it between the circles, back over to Hydorn on the right.
Gonna play for one shot.
17 seconds to go. Feed to Gibson at the top of the key. 9 seconds.
I would guess they're going to try to get Caden Erickson opener.
And 4 seconds. Erickson down in the corner. Puts up the 3 off the iron. No good. So we go to halftime with the score. Vikings 31. Elmwood Plum City Wolves 23. We have Viking halftime coming up right after this timeout. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
You're tuned to the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. We use advertising revenue to make this service available to you. If you have a business and would like to get your message out to our ever-increasing audience, give us a call at 715-563-1749. We'll be happy to discuss our budget-friendly advertising packages with you. Get your business noticed on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV by calling 715-563-1749.
Time now for Viking Halftime with this week's edition of Viking Profile and the Colfax High School Report. That's all coming up following this brief timeout.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing.
The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Time now for Viking Profile, where we take a closer look at one of the Colfax Viking players. And now, Viking Profile.
Today on Viking Profile, we're talking with Tanner Hoffman, and Tanner is a senior here at Colfax High School, and we're going to get to know Tanner right after this brief timeout.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
We're talking with Tanner Hoffman on Viking Profile, and Tanner, we know that you play basketball, but are you involved in any other activities here at school?
I was in football earlier this year, as well as FBLA, but that got canceled due to coronavirus. And I think that's it.
Okay. So when did you start playing basketball, and what kind of experience have you had doing that?
I've been playing basketball since about 3rd grade, but never really was into it until 8th grade. Basketball is easily my favorite sport. I've gotten a lot out from it with hard work, teamwork, just pushing yourself to become better.
So that in mind, what is the most important thing that you've learned playing basketball?
I'd say to work with your team, because you can't do it all yourself. You have to trust others and keep working.
Okay. So when you're not playing basketball or you're not at school, what are some other things that keep you interested or occupied?
Well, there is a lot of basketball being played that keeps me interested, but I spend a lot of time PS4 with the boys, specifically NBA 2K.
Okay. I've got a few rapid fire questions for you. Pie, ice cream, cake, or cookies?
Pie.
Any particular kind?
Pie. It's too classic.
Just pie.
Oh, for
Just
sure.
as long as it's got a crust and you got something to eat. All right. So what's your favorite color and why?
I go with red just because Colfax colors.
Okay.
Just alpha color.
There you go. Now, if you could have a superpower, what would it be and why?
It's for sure. That'd be overpowered.
All right. So, since you play that NBA 2K, do you have a favorite NBA team?
Milwaukee Bucks and Giannis Antetokounmpo. You better re-sign with them, or I'm gonna.
You can't go too far wrong with that combination, can
Yeah.
you?
No, you cannot.
How about your favorite collegiate team?
Ooh, collegiate team. That's tough. Last year I was a big Kentucky guy due to Tyler Hero, but gonna have the Badgers this year. They have one of my favorite players in Johnny Davis coming out of La Crosse Central. He's really fun to watch. I hope he goes to the league.
Okay. So we're talking right now, and we're going to find out what are your plans for after high school?
I'm pretty indecisive currently. I don't really want to go to college if don't want to be a freshman if coronavirus is still going on. Just missing out experience. So I don't know. I'm undecided as of right now. I'm just trying to focus on this season, I guess.
Okay. How about a shout out to your family?
Oh, what's up, Mom, Dad, Colton, the team too. I forgot about that. And little sister Ariana.
There you go. So when people watch for Tanner Hoffman, when they're watching Viking games on NLWN-TV, what number should they look for, and what position are you playing?
Number 21, and I'll be playing probably the 2 through maybe even the 5 spot. Be pretty versatile this year.
All right, we want to thank Tanner Hoffman for joining us today on Viking Profile. Coming up next is more of Viking Halftime.
You've been listening to Viking Profile. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Time now for the Colfax High School report with an update about what's happening at Colfax High School.
Colfax Viking athletics continues with boys and girls basketball teams wrapping up the 2020 portion of this season. The girls Viking basketball team went 1-1 last week and moved into a top 5th when they host the Chippewa Falls McDonald Maps. And then on Friday, January 8th, when they host the Durand Panthers. And the Viking girls will get back into action on Thursday, January 7th, when they travel to Boyceville to take on the Bulldogs. We'll carry all of those games on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV with Viking Pregame beginning at 6:55 and live play-by-play at 7:10. We here at the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV would like to wish everyone a very happy and healthy holiday season, and that's what's happening at Colfax High School for December 21st through January 9th.
You've been tuned to the Colfax High School report with an update about what's happening at Colfax High School. Stay tuned. Coming up next is more Viking halftime and then second half action.
You've been tuned to Viking Halftime. Stay tuned. Coming up is second half action of today's Viking game on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
And Rick Olson along with Dan Petchow just getting ready to start the second half of this game. And Dan, we said before the game started that this was going to be a test of how did the Vikings respond after last night's loss. I have no complaints about their response.
Yeah, they've done pretty good here in the first half. They had 7 threes, 5 of them by Caden Erickson, but they're gonna dial in on Caden Erickson now. So they're Colfax can't get one-dimensional right now. They got to find a way to go ball inside to Drew Gibson or Tristan Lenz and try to get some points under the hoop here.
And it looks like the Vikings will have the ball to start the second half. There's a few number changes that we were informed of at halftime, that all those plays that we said were Travis Seipel, nothing against Travis Seipel, but they were all by Elijah Gansluckner for Elmwood Plum City. Gibson has it wide from the left side, and Drew Gibson nails a three-pointer, 9 points for Gibson. And if I'm not mistaken, they're all from outside of 3. Down across the timeline now as Gansluckner feeds it down underneath to Gillis. And Gillis' shot is no good, but he did draw the foul going up. And the foul is on Hajdukovic. First team foul on the Vikings this half. That's Hajdukovic's second foul. Gillis' shot is up and no good. 34-23, Vikings up by 11. Just underway in the second half. Gillis' second shot is on the way. That one's good. Vikings holding a 10-point lead. Gibson inbounds it to Hydorn, who takes it across the timeline. Now down to the right side, drives down to the baseline, feeds it back out to Erickson. Erickson drives towards the lane, puts it up, no good. Lenz with the follow-up, and it goes in. Tristan Lenz with the follow. And Elmwood Plum City having to deal with the Viking press. They do without too much trouble. Gansluckner drives in, and his shot is no good, but drew the foul, the blocking foul from Gibson. So that'll be the second foul on the Vikings this half. It's also Gibson's second foul of the game. Gansluckner is at the line, shooting 2. First one on the way. That one's good. It's 5 points for him so far tonight. Second shot on the way. It's also good. 36-25. Vikings on top. Down the floor comes Hydorn. He drives it down the right side of the lane. Lays it up and it goes in. Noah Hydorn. And here comes Elmwood Plum City in the backcourt. Now they feed it to Webb, but takes it into the forecourt. Gets it to Gillis, who lays it off the glass and puts it in. 38-27. Vikings still up by 11. Hydorn with it. Takes it down the right side again. Looked like he was going to try to feed it over to Erickson. Got knocked out of bounds by Elmwood Plum City. So the Vikings are going to have it. Hydorn feeds it into Gibson. Drives into the lane. Short jumper, and he lays it in. Nice shot by Drew Gibson from right in the middle of the lane. Dan Sluckner gets it over to Bauer, who brings it up across the timeline. He feeds it out and gets it over to Luke Webb, who puts it in. The big 6'6" guy can shoot from the outside. 40-30. Vikings up by 10. Hydorn with it. Between the circles, gets it over to the left side to Gibson. Gibson backs out. Cross-court pass over to Hydorn. He's on the right, high, wide, and right. Takes it down, gives it to Erickson, who takes it out to the top of the key. Jump shot off the iron, no good. Actually, I think he was too close.
Yeah, right.
And down the floor comes Elmwood Plum City. Dan Sluckner feeds it out to Whipple between the circles, over to Bauer on the left side. Bauer gets it over to Gillis. And the pass is errant, out of bounds, Vikings ball. Gibson feeds it to Hydorn, and he brings it down across the timeline. Hydorn over to Hajdukovic. On the right side, takes it to the free throw line, over to Erickson on the left. Erickson takes it over to the right side, gets it over to Hydorn, takes it to the free throw line, over to Gibson on the right. Gibson at the free throw line extended, now he backs up. Dribbled it off his own leg, picked it up. Hydorn has it, now between the circles. And
we got a foul on Whipple.
Did a little shoulder check, it looked like. That's Whipple's first personal. First team foul on Elmwood Plum City. So Lenz inbounds it for Hydorn, who's out high on the right side directing traffic. Feeds it to Lenz between the circles. Over to Hajdukovic and down to Erickson, who feeds it underneath to Gibson, who lays it up off the glass and into the hole. 42-30, Vikings back up by 12. Whipple gets it to Webb, back to Whipple. He comes across the timeline with it. Drives into the lane, tries to lay it up. No, rebound taken down by Bauer. He puts it up, no good. Gibson with the rebound. And here comes Hydorn down the floor with it for the Vikings. He's high, wide, and right. Now drives down the right side of the lane, but he goes down. We have a slip and a fall and a travel being called and a timeout. And the officials are going to talk about this.
30-second timeout. Coach got it.
And with that timeout, we're going to remind you that our next broadcast here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV will be on Tuesday, January 5th, when the Viking boys host the Chippewa Falls McDonald Max. Viking pregame will be at 6:55, and live play-by-play will begin at 7:10. That's the next game. It's our last game of the year, Dan. Holy cow.
Yeah, we're that half of the season.
Well, what's really hard to realize is I think I've got my Christmas shopping done, but that's only a couple days away. Holy cow.
I got till tomorrow, right?
Oh, at least, yeah. You even have the day after if you want it. The day after that, you're kind of in trouble. Okay, so evidently the Vikings got the timeout called before the travel took place. So the Vikings are going to inbound it. Heidorn, long pass out to Gibson, who launches a long three, and he hit it! Drew Gibson with a long three-pointer. 16 points for Gibson as Bauer takes it down the left baseline, puts it up. That was dangerously close to goaltending by the Vikings, but the shot is no good. Heidorn with it between the circles. Takes it down to the right side. Back out high to Erickson, launches a three. It's no good and goes out of bounds, so it'll be Elmwood Plum City's ball. 45-30, Vikings on top. Down the floor comes Whipple. He's in the forecourt, between the circles. Feeds it over to Gansluckner. Down to Webb in the right corner. Webb feeds it out high to Bauer, over to Whipple, and we have a
offensive foul.
And that foul is on Gansluckner. That's his first personal. Second team foul on Elmwood Plum City. And here come the Vikings down the floor. Heidorn with it, puts the brakes on, feeds it to Lenz underneath. Tries to put the reverse layup up there, but it didn't go. And here comes Elmwood Plum City. Bauer with the layup, and he gets it in. Tyler Bauer, the 6'3" senior guard for Elmwood Plum City. Heidorn with it for the Vikings. On the right side, takes it to the free throw line, gets it out to Hajdukovic on the left. Hajdukovic drives into the lane, stops, puts up the shot, and it goes in. Nate Hajdukovic with his first 2 points of the night. Whipple brings it down the floor. And we have a timeout on the floor by Elmwood. 12:22 to go in the game. Vikings 47, Elmwood Plum City Wolves 32. You are tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? And now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Are your pooch's proportions putting on pounds? Or is your kitty's constitution constantly complaining? Well, stop by and see the friendly folks at the Colfax Animal Hospital. Dr. Bruce Buckley and his staff will be happy to help you get your family friend back on the road to healthy living. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Call them at 715-962-3380. Back here at Colfax High School, Rick Olson along with Dan Petchow. Elmwood Plum City inbounds the ball. Vikings up 47-32. Hartung with it, out near the timeline on the right side. Feeds it down to Webb, who's actually still high, wide, and right. Now he dribbles out between the circles, gets it over to Pelzel. They feed it out to Hartung, back to Pelzel. Back out to Hartung. Hartung over to Bauer on the right side. Feeds it down to the right corner to Gillis. Puts up the shot, no good. Follow-up is blocked by Lenz. And the Vikings come back down the floor. That was a real nice block. Lenz skied for that one. Heidorn with it on the right side. Stops at the top of the key. Gets it over to Erickson. Put on the brakes, but the pivot foot slid. And so it's a travel, and Elmwood Plum City has the ball. Pelzel to bring it down the floor. Right through the center circle. Now they feed it into the lane over to Hartung on the right side. Puts up the three-pointer, no good. Bauer with the putback, and he got it. 47-34. Thirteen-point lead for the Vikings. Hydorn with it. He gets it out to Gibson, who drives down the right side, puts up the shot, and it goes in. Drew Gibson with 18 on the night. And down the floor comes Hartung. Gets it over to Bauer in the right corner. Being guarded closely by Hajdukovic. Back out to Hartung, and then they get it across over to Gillis. Now to Pelzel, high, wide, and left. To Gillis down in the left corner. Gillis out to Webb at the top of the key. Cross court over to Bauer. Then they feed it down underneath, and the shot gets deflected. Gillis' shot got deflected. Gibson comes away with it, and here comes Hydorn down the floor for the Vikings. He takes it to the right side, trying to set something up. Feeds it into the lane to Gibson, who tries to put it up, and he got blocked by Webb. Ball went out of bounds, and Vikings will inbound it. Hydorn feeds it into Erickson on the right side. Takes a jumper just inside the arc. It rolls around, goes off, and out of bounds. Elmwood Plum City ball. 10:09 to go in the game. Vikings up by 15. Pelzel with it on the left side. Feeds it over to Gillis. Back out to Pelzel to Hartung on the right. Now into the lane to Gillis. Out to Webb from three. Up, no good. Rebound taken down by Hajdukovic. Gets it to Hydorn. Hydorn brings it down the floor. He feeds it over to Erickson on the left side. Now gets it out to Hajdukovic. High, wide, and right. Takes it between the circles. Over to Hydorn on the left. Hydorn stops at the free throw line. Gets it out to Gibson. Gibson to Erickson. Erickson directing some traffic. Moves it over to the right side. Now takes it to the free throw line. Feeds it over to Hajdukovic. Hajdukovic to the free throw line. Now gives it to Hydorn on the right. To Gibson on the left. Gibson to Erickson, who recycles it back out high. Hydorn with it between the circles. Hydorn drives into the lane, gets it to Gibson, back out to Erickson. Vikings using a lot of clock. Hajdukovic on the right with it. Takes it down, puts it up, no good. Gibson with the putback, and it goes in. 51-34, Vikings on top. And here comes Elmwood Plum City. Bauer lays it up and in. That was a nice assist that time going to Gillis. He had it down at the baseline, fed Bauer coming down the lane, and he laid it in. Hydorn with it for the Vikings. Drives into the lane, stops, puts the shot up off the front of the iron. No good. Webb with the rebound. And down the floor comes Pelzel. Gets it to Gillis. Three-pointer on the way. Off the iron, no good. Rebound tapped around and out of bounds off of Elmwood Plum City. And so the Vikings will have it. Gillis going to take a break. Seipel comes in. And down the floor comes Hydorn for the Vikings right through the center circle. He's at the top of the key. Now drives down the left side of the lane. Feeds it out to Erickson. Erickson drives the baseline, puts it up. No! And down the floor comes Hartung. Hartung with it on the right side, or on the left side. Feeds it out high to sight, or check that, that's Gansluckner. Webb has it now on the right side to Gansluckner out between the circles. Over to Hartung, and now to Pelzel, out to Bauer at the free throw line. Turns around from the left side, puts up the shot, it's good. About a 17-footer that time. 51-38, Vikings up by 13. And we have a timeout on the floor with 7:07 to go in the game. Vikings 51, Elmwood Plum City Wolves 38. And you are tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
As you check names off your gift-giving list, Dairy State Bank encourages you to shop local as much as possible. The reasons are countless. For example, local businesses create 2 out of every 3 new jobs in the U.S. each year. There are times you could save a few cents by ordering online, but when you shop at a local store, you could be saving your community. Shop local for the holidays. It's more important than ever. Dairy State Bank, banking on relationships.
And I didn't mean to stop that quite that early, but I did want to remind you that the next girls basketball game to be carried on NLWN-TV and on the Northern Light Webcasting Network will be on Thursday, January 7th, when the Vikings travel to Boyceville to take on the Bulldogs. And we're going to bring you that game remotely with video being provided by Boyceville High School. Viking pregame will be at 6:55, live play-by-play at 7:10. And I'll tell you what, Dan, it is really nice to be back here at Colfax High School calling the game in person. I want to thank the schools that have provided us video feeds. In this day and age, that's the best we can do for those road games, but it's a lot easier when you can really see the numbers.
Yeah, nothing better than live sports.
All right. Vikings inbound the ball as one of their coaches just took a dive over there. All of a sudden, his chair slid out from under him. I don't know if it was helped or not, but it did. Vikings have the ball over on the right side. Gibson has it high, wide, and right. Feeds it out between the circles to Hydorn. Hydorn takes it down, feeds it out to Hajdukovic from 3. Off the iron, no good. Hydorn gets the rebound. Feeds it out high to Gibson, over to Hajdukovic again from 3. No, that one's not going to go, but we have a foul underneath, and I think it's going to be on Lenz. It is. Fouls on Tristan Lenz with a push underneath, getting set for that rebound. It's Lenz's first personal, 3rd team foul on the Vikings this half. And here comes Elmwood, Plum City down the floor. Pelzel with it, gets it to Bauer on the left side. Ball gets knocked away, but he gets it back right away. Turns, takes it down to the baseline. Out to Webb at the free throw line. Drives into the lane, turns around, puts the shot up, and it rattles home. 51-11, Vikings up, or 51-40, Vikings up by 11. Numbers are coming out faster than my mouth can say them. Gibson has it high on the left side. Feeds it out between the circles to Hajdukovic. Over to the right side now to Hydorn. And the coach is telling Hydorn to back up. He's trying to get things spread out a little bit to Erickson on the right side. Erickson drives towards the lane. Defender falls down. He puts a shot up. No good. Gibson gets it back. No good again. And he gets it back again, puts a shot up, it goes through, and he draws the harm. Drew Gibson battling hard underneath the basket. 20 points, 22 points on the night for Drew. Whipple into the lineup for Pelzel for Elmwood Plum City. Gibson's shot is on the way, no good. Rebound taken down by Elmwood Plum City. Bauer got the rebound. Feeds it off to Whipple, over to Hartung on the right side. Feeds it back out between the circles to Whipple. Whipple on the dribble, over to the right side to Hartung. Out high to Gansluckner. To Whipple on the left side, down in the left corner. Get it out to Bauer, high, wide, and left. To Webb in the lane. To Hartung, drives the right baseline. Looking for somewhere to go. Finally goes to the basket with it. It does not go in. But he chases, Gansluckner chases down the rebound. Gets it to Webb with a jumper from 17. He got the shot, and he goes to the floor. And they're going to get Gibson with a push. Webb with the 17-footer. Cuts the lead to 11. Into the lineup is Gillis. Hartung takes a seat for Elmwood Plum City. That's the 3rd foul on Gibson. Webb shot is on the way. It's good. Cutting the Viking lead to 10. 53-43, 4:48 to go. Hydorn with it, over to Hajdukovic on the left side. Hajdukovic drives to the free throw line, puts it up to Lenz, and Lenz tries to put the shot up. We have a whistle and a foul. I think it's going to be on Lenz. It is. Foul's on Lenz. It's only his second. 15th foul on the Vikings. Whipple with it across the timeline for Elmwood Plum City. Gets it down into the right corner to Bauer. Bauer feeds it into the lane to Webb. Webb with the turnaround jumper, and it went through. Nothing but net on that one. Probably about an 8-footer. Cuts the lead to 8 points. Vikings bring it down the floor. And we're going to get a reaching foul on Gansleckner as he tried to poke the ball away from Hydorn. That'll be the 4th foul on Elmwood Plum City, 2nd foul on Gansleckner. And Hydorn has it. Gansleckner still on him. Coming across the timeline through the center circle, down to Hajdukovic in the left corner. Back out high to Hydorn. Takes it over to the right side. Feeds it over to Erickson from 3, off the iron, no good. Rebound taken down by Bauer. Feeding to Whipple, the shot goes up, no good. Rebound out of bounds. Last touch by Elmwood Plum City, or last touch by the Vikings. Elmwood Plum City's going to have the ball. 53-45, Vikings up by 8. 3:43 to go in the game. Inbound pass out to Webb, out high on the right side. Over to Gansleckner from the right side. 3 is good. Cutting the lead to 5, 53-48. 3:33 to go, and we have a timeout being called. 3:31 to go in the game. Vikings 53, Elmwood Plum City 48, and you are tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
As you check names off your gift-giving list, Derry State Bank encourages you to shop local as much as possible. The reasons are countless. For example, local businesses create 2 out of every 3 new jobs in the U.S. each year. There are times you could save a few cents by ordering online, but when you shop at a local store, you could be saving your community. Shop local for the holidays. It's more important than ever. Derry State Bank. Banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
Back at Colfax High School, Rick Olson along with Dan Petchow. Trying to get the holiday season off to a good start with a Viking win, but all of a sudden the game is back in question. 53-48, Vikings up by 5. Vikings have the ball, Hydorn with it, across the timeline. Over to Lenz, high, wide, and left. Feeds it over to Hydorn, takes it down to the free throw line, tries to go up, he does, and lays it off the glass.
Good strong move by Hydorn.
Yeah, he didn't quit on the shot, that's for sure. 55-48, shot goes up by Elmwood Plum City. No good, that was by Whipple, and the rebound taken down by Erickson. Or check that, that's Hydorn. Down across the timeline, feeds it over to Erickson on the left side. Erickson trying to take it, and we have a whistle and a foul. And the foul's on Webb. It's his 3rd personal. 15th foul on Elmwood Plum City. Actually, with the score what it is, that's not a bad thing for Elmwood Plum City. They're going to want to get to that 6th and be able to put the Vikings to the line if they have to. Gibson looking to get somewhere with it. Finally gets it into Hajdukovic, who feeds it to Hydorn in the forecourt. In the lane, feeds it to Lenz down underneath. Lenz goes up and gets fouled by Webb. The ball didn't go in, but Lenz drew the foul, and he's going to go to the line for 2.
And that's 4 on Webb.
And that's also the 6th foul on Elmwood Plum City. So from this point on, the Vikings will also be in the bonus. Lenz's first shot is good. And the second shot is on the way. It's off the back of the iron, no good. Rebound taken down by Elmwood Plum City. Vikings up by 8. Webb across the timeline with it, outside the arc on the right side. Feeds it down into the right corner to Whipple. Back out high to Gansluckner. Over to Webb on the left side. He drives into the lane, tries to turn around. We're going to get an offensive foul called on Webb. And that's going to be it for Webb tonight.
Good job by Drew
He's going to
Gibson.
end up taking a seat with 16 points on the night. And Webb does not like that call, but Gibson was planted there like the redwoods in California, and he just backed into him and ran him over. So down the floor comes Hydorn for the Vikings. Feeds it out to Hajdukovic on the left side. Hajdukovic, and he took an extra step while trying to pass it back to Lenz. Kind of stumbled in the process of turning around. 2:13 to go. Vikings up by 8. 56-48. Whipple brings it across the timeline to Pelzel. Over to the left side. Long shot up by Bauer. It's no good. Rebound taken down by Hydorn. And we're going to get a foul called on Gansluckner. And that's the third foul on Gansluckner, 8th team foul. So Hydorn goes to the line for the 1-and-1. First shot on the way. It's good. Noah Hydorn at the line. 9 points for him so far on the night. Second shot on the way, off the back of the iron, no good. Lenz fighting for the rebound, starts to go out of bounds, but knocked back in by Elmwood Plum City. Pelzel with it, feeds it to Gillis. Over to Whipple, drives the left side, no good. Feeds it down to Gillis, puts it up, no good. Next shot up by Pelzel's no good. And here comes Erickson on a solo flight, lays it up and in. Caden Erickson with 21 points on the night. Gansluckner with it down at the right baseline. Feeds it out to Gillis. To Pelzel on the left. To Whipple down in the left corner. Whipple drives the left baseline. Now feeds it out. Shot is no good by Gillis. And Hydorn has it as he brings it down. Hydorn with it, high, wide, and right. Gets to the top of the key, starts to lose the handle. We have a foul called. We are just under a minute to go. And that foul's on Bauer. That's his third personal, 9th team foul on the Vikings. Hydorn at the line again for the bonus. First shot on the way, and it's good. That's another Viking in double figures tonight. Next shot on the way, off the back of the iron, no good. And here comes Elmwood Plum City down the floor. Pelzel with it to Bauer at the top of the key. Bauer drives into the lane, puts the shot up, off the back of the iron, no good. Lenz with the rebound, and climbing over the top of him is Gillis. And they're going to get Gillis with the foul. That's a 10th team foul on Elmwood Plum City. So Tristan Lenz will be at the line for 2. That's the first foul on Gillis. .7 seconds left. First shot by Lenz, up. It rolls around and around and down. So now Lenz gets his second shot. It's on the way, off the back of the iron, no good. Put back by Erickson is good. And we have a timeout on the floor. with 42 seconds remaining. Vikings 63, Elmwood Plum City 48. You are tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
And Rick Olson along with Dan Petchow. Vikings in pretty good command of this one with a 63-48 lead over the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. As we come back on the floor, 42 plus seconds to go in this one. Elmwood Plum City letting the ball roll in, picked up by Whipple at the timeline. Feeds it over to Pelzel on the left, back across to Whipple, into the lane to Gillis, puts the shot up, it's off the iron, no good. Gibson with the rebound with under 30 seconds to go. Gibson taking his time now. Viking fans showing some appreciation because it looks like the Vikings are going to snap that 3-game losing streak. And Gibson's just standing out high. Elmwood Plum City doing nothing to come out and challenge him. 8 seconds to go. So that's going to be the final tonight. 63-48. It was Parents' Night tonight, and the players came out and put on a good show for their parents. Final score, Vikings 63, Elmwood Plum City Wolves 48. And we're going to have Viking postgame coming up right after this timeout. You're tuned to Viking basketball in the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Roll over. Chance high five. All right. When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique. And your mother and I am totally a hot person. Right, guys? Thanks for being honest. They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org.
Thank you for joining us for Colfax Viking Boys Basketball. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Viking Post Game, where we'll take a look back at today's Viking game.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Time now for Viking postgame, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking boys game. And now, Viking postgame.
Well, welcome back to Colfax High School. We're sitting here with Coach Knoll. And Coach, congratulations on that big win tonight. Snapped that 3-game losing streak, and holy cow, did they do it in style.
Man, it's a great feeling, to be honest with you. I'm so proud of these boys for just staying strong and fighting through these games. This is a hard week. We had 4 games in 6 days. Started off with Mondovi, and, we were up 3 with 3 minutes to go, and to have that one come apart for us. And then during the week, Turtle Lake, we just didn't show up, to be honest with you. And then last night against New Auburn, we were ahead 95% of the game and lost it in the last 30 seconds.
In fact, we had talked in Coach's Corner. We talked about somehow these guys had to find a way to finish. Well, they
Yeah.
found it tonight.
Yeah, is it not basketball a beautiful thing when the ball goes through the baskets?
Especially when yours go through.
Right.
Yeah.
And we finally, and, and when Caden started the way that he did, that made everyone else relax.
Right.
Him making those shots helped everyone else just kind of relax, and that helped our defense. It helped everything get going.
And then Drew Gibson came alive. Caden had 23 on the night. Drew had 22.
Yeah.
I mean, holy cow.
That's awesome.
These guys, when they snap a 3-game losing streak, they do it in style.
Yeah, and that's a big win because last night, they came off and beat Elk Mound.
Right.
And Elk Mound's a very solid team with a lot of kids returning, and this team's got a lot of kids coming back, So, like I said, I really do believe that we've got a nice team. It's just that we're learning. We're learning our style. We're learning what our identity is. Tonight we got to see a little bit more of what our identity is going to be, and I'm very proud.
I was really impressed with Tristan Lenz and the way he fought for the ball underneath.
Yeah.
And he would get off his feet and get up high and make a play up high. He's one of these guys that likes to play above the rim.
Yeah.
And
he was huge for us tonight because 22 for them. Webb is a dynamic player. He's 6'6". Lenz is 6'5". So it gave us a chance to have somebody out there with close to that same size. But he was playing really aggressive and had a lot of energy. And that was awesome to see him play the way that he did, too.
Well, Coach, I'm going to let you get going and go celebrate with these guys because this one's worth celebrating. What a great way to enter into the holiday season.
I know. Merry Christmas to everybody.
Merry Christmas, Coach. Yours came a little bit early, I think.
Thank you.
But that's okay. So we'll be back with more Viking postgame right after this timeout. You're tuned to Viking postgame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Honey, what I think you need is a socket wrench.
I played JV basketball.
I'm sorry. I don't think it looks right.
This is good, and it's all good, baby.
Is it really all good?
If you love me enough to routinely test your handyman skills, not to mention the strength of your marriage, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
I'm gonna call my dad.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score.
So I'm pre-approved.
You were like, yes! Sorry. Color coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. You aced house hunting. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
And we're back here at Colfax High School as things are emptying out a little bit. Vikings come away with a big 63-48 victory over the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. Dan, you've got some numbers there to tell us how we got there. Why don't you fill us in?
Yeah, here's the scores tonight for Elmwood Plum City. Their leading scorer was number 22, Luke Webb. He had 16 points, followed by number 15, Basil Gillis with 13. We had Tyler Bauer and Elijah Ganslunger with 9 points, and Dana Whipple with 2 for the Colfax Vikings. Their leading scorer tonight was number 15, Caden Erickson. He had 23 points, followed right by number 33, Drew Gibson. He had 22 points. And then we had number 23, Noah Heidorn with 10. We had Tristan Lenz with 6, and Nathan Hajdukovic with 2. 63-48.
Three guys into double figures for the Vikings. Pretty nice evening of work for the Vikings and a good way to break that 3-game losing streak, don't you think?
Yeah, good job by the two seniors, Drew Gibson and Caden Erickson, to lead the team tonight and get a big win on senior night.
Well, I'll tell you what, we'll come back with some final thoughts on this one right after this time out. You're tuned to Viking Postgame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
When I was 10, my mom got deported. We had a difficult time, and I feel that's why I didn't get to finish school. My husband is really supportive in a way that he pushed me to go back to school.
She wants to have a career so her kids can look up to her.
They both keep me motivated to go to school, and they see that if I do it, like, they can do it too, you know? I feel that everything's possible.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Hey!
Okay.
If you love me enough to tolerate my perfect little pets and all their glorious dander, then of course you'll visit NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
And Rick Olson along with Dan Petchow back here at Colfax High School one more time for Viking postgame. 63-48, Vikings with the victory tonight. And Dan, your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, good job tonight by Colfax. They did a really great job on number 22, Luke Webb. They moved him from the inside to the outside, shut him down. He did have some points. He had 16 points, but overall they did a good job on him. Got him in foul trouble, put him out of the game. Colfax had a ton of threes tonight. I don't even know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 threes. Big night for threes. Yeah. And
that's 27 points. 27 of your 63 points on three-pointers.
Yeah. Sometimes that can be trouble, but tonight it was on the winning side, so that's good. And so,
well, one of the things that, and I'm sure Coach Knoll, it's in the back of his head, the game against Mondovi and the game last night against New Auburn, both games the Vikings were ahead. And about midway through the second half, a slide begins to happen. It happened again tonight, too. Only the Vikings were able to shut it off when it got down to 5 points. But they were up by, again, about 13 points. And all of a sudden, Elmwood, Plum City, chips away, got it down to 5. Then the Vikings slammed the door. You got to be able to do that and put teams away.
Yeah, and Colfax hit their free throws at the end, which is always crucial. And if you can do that, you can put a team away.
Well, hey, let's remind folks that our next broadcast here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV will be on Tuesday, January 5th, when the Viking boys host the Chippewa Falls McDonald Max. Viking pregame at 6:55. Live play-by-play will begin at 7:10. Next girls' game is going to be on Thursday, January 7th, when the Vikings travel to Boyceville to take on the Bulldogs. We will bring you this game remotely, with the video being provided by Boyceville High School. Viking pregame for that one will be at 6:55, and live play-by-play will begin at 7:10. We also want to remind you that since in fact, the next time we meet, it will be the new year. We do have something kind of cool coming up in the new year. We're going to be bringing Classic Wissota racing action starting in March. We are going to reprise 7 of the weekend races from Eagle Valley Speedway with a few added features, and this will help get you ready for the 2021 racing season. Classic Wissota racing action starts on March 17th on NLWN-TV. So, 63-48, Vikings with the win. Dan, you have a terrific Christmas and New Year's, and we're going to get together again on January 5th and have some more basketball fun. What do you say to that?
Yeah, I could play basketball, watch basketball every day if I could.
All right, there's my guy. All right. So for Dan Petchow, this is Rick Olson. You've been tuned to Viking postgame, that final score. Once again, Vikings 63. It always is worth repeating when it's like this. Elmwood Plum City Wolves 48. You've been tuned to Viking postgame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
You've been listening to Viking Postgame, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking boys game. You can catch Colfax Vikings games by tuning in to any of the Northern Light Webcasting Network outlets. This has been a production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.